Alright, well, first thing that I wanted to show. Today in the mail, I've got my degree. My college degree. Finally arrived. So after 5 years, I'm now officially graduated. Well, an undergraduate, graduated. And it's just something I want to show off because I'm excited about it. So, the thing that I wanted to talk about today is that, I've seen some rumors and stuff like that about, maybe a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster or remake, Final Fantasy IX remake, stuff like that. And my internet is not working right now. There's this video on YouTube that I like, actually, that pretty much explains all the details and everything about those rumors.
We are currently celebrating the 35th anniversary of Final Fantasy. We've already had many announcements, and we've been promised even more on the horizon. There's also games like Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster and Final Fantasy IX Remake that were spotted in the near infallible Nvidia leak, of which almost every game on the list has been confirmed thus far. And according to this new rumor, we are going to see them sooner rather than later, and a whole bunch of other stuff that makes us look at this rumor with some scrutiny. So you're going to want to hit that subscribe button because this is I've heard in a while. Again, this is a 4chan rumor, meaning that you should take this with a grain of salt. But for the sake of fun, let's go through it anyway. According to the so-called leaker, whose uncle works at Nintendo, Final Fantasy will be having a 35th anniversary presentation happening on February 7th. The total runtime of this presentation, according to the leaker, is supposed to be an hour and 24 minutes. It will open with a presentation on Final Fantasy's history. Apparently, Hironobu Sakaguchi will present Final Fantasy IX Remake, and it's coming this fall. Now, this year is already loaded. We got Final Fantasy XVI coming in the summer. We got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming in the winter. We have Final Fantasy XIV 7.0 coming out right after Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is already 3 mainline Final Fantasy titles, 7, 14, and 16 coming out back to back. It just seems like way too much all at once. However, I do think that if there is a Final Fantasy IX remake in existence, having it associated with Hironobu Sakaguchi in some capacity, even if it's just giving the remake his blessing, would probably be a great idea. Moving forward, we have...
So, yeah. I pretty much agree with what he says here. I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy IX Remake if they are working on it. However, this fall, you always want to play new Final Fantasies all the time, but when it actually happens, like it does become too much. Like with 16 and then 7 Rebirth. So this fall, like I said, I would love to play it if it actually is this fall. It's just, yeah, it might be too much at once. So yeah, pretty much what he says, it's just, I agree with it.
World of Final Fantasy II, A Mog of Light, and that's supposed to be coming May 19th, 2023. This would be particularly surprising to me as the original World of Final Fantasy didn't sell insanely well. I do think it'd be cool if they were able to give World of Final Fantasy another chance. It seems unlikely, but more unlikely things have happened. After that, we have Stories from Evilise, War of the Lions, Summer 20...
Yeah, World of Final Fantasy sequel. That was interesting. I don't... Like I said, it's too much in 1 year. I mean, it is... it would be something I would like to play, actually. I'm interested. I mean, I didn't mind World of Final Fantasy at all. I mean, it is more of a kid's game than it is what they usually do, but it's just interesting. It's kind of hard to explain what I think of it. And then we got, I guess, I mean, there is already a sequel to 12, except it's not nearly like the original. So, Stories from Evilly Borderlands. I'm not sure if I'd play this, but we'll see.
2023. That is an announcement that would make a ton of people very excited. But the next announcement, maybe not so much. Final Fantasy X-3 now in development.
So, here's the thing. Final Fantasy X is my most favorite game out of all the Final Fantasies. And Final Fantasy X Part 2 is my least favorite game out of all the Final Fantasies. So, and I don't... The way I feel about this is that, well, for one, it's been, what, 20 or so years since 10 and 10 Part 2? So, I don't... On the one hand, I don't agree with it. I mean, if they can make it good, then yeah. It's just, it's hard to explain, especially when nobody's in the chat room right now. But, yeah, it's just, I don't particularly like this. Usually I'd be super excited for any Final Fantasy game is going to come out, but this one I don't know. If they can make it good, then bravo to them. But yeah, it's just something I don't think I would like particularly. But we'll see if it does come out.
This is a pretty hotly contested one, as Creative Business Unit 1 has talked about creating Final Fantasy X-3 for a long time now. The existence of X-3 is absolutely nothing surprising. However, the announcement of X-3 is, and it's going to be pretty contentious, as a lot of people don't want X-3. The very polarizing
I'm actually kind of one of those people.
Is said to be the foundation of Final Fantasy X-3's story, as well as the critically panned Final Fantasy X 2.5 novel. Again, that much we've known about for a while. However, the game being officially in development is something that hasn't been confirmed yet, and something that they've only teased doing. This is one of those things that's going to happen at some point, regardless of whether this rumor is true, which allows these leakers to take stabs in the dark and occasionally touch on something legit, because it builds off of things that we already know are happening. Then of course, we get to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with a new trailer called Memories, and Final Fantasy XVI will get a focal presentation announcement, which apparently will be taking place on March 24th. Now, here's...
So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, he just said Memories trailer. That is something I am super excited about. On February 7th, which is what, like 3 weeks from now? Oh, you can't imagine how excited I am.
Where things get really interesting.
And with another 16 announcement, I don't think they need to do any more. I don't, especially with now that we know the release date and everything. I kind of feel like once you know the release date and with how many trailers they've done already, they don't need to do any more. It's not necessary. I mean, it's kind of letting people see more of the game, which is nice, but at the same time, you don't want to see too much. Like, you know, has some trailers for movies show pretty much the whole movie in like 2-3 minutes, and then once you see the movie, it's like you think there's going to be more, but then you end up getting disappointed because it's like watching the long version of the trailer. So, in my opinion, I don't think any more needs to be shown on 16. I'm just waiting for the release date.
interesting to me. The rumor then continues by saying that Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV will have a Unity subscription. According to this, you'll be able to bundle the two subscriptions together, and hopefully that would encourage more people to check out FF11, which if
I actually like
there's
this.
some slim chance this rumor is real, you might want to check out FF11 because FF11 is finally getting a rework, with it being listed as Final Fantasy XI Beginnings Rework Project, and supposedly is coming this fall. Now, for those of you who are out of the know, Final Fantasy XI hard confirmed had its own reboot in the works, and it was being done on Unreal Engine 4. However, things did go
I don't
south
care
with the
about mobile
company
games
working
too
on
much,
it.
so
For
I'm
now,
fine
and
with this.
as far as the public knows, the Final Fantasy XI rework is cancelled. This would suggest that Square Enix has either taken the project internally or to another third-party studio. Again, this is one of those things that is probably real, even if the leak itself is not. By sitting and thinking about what Square Enix would reasonably do with the aging FF11 after the cancelled reboot that was supposed to happen had fell through. Aside from this, Naoki Yoshida is supposed to talk about Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn's 10th anniversary, and this would be the Final Fantasy 35th anniversary presentation. The one of many people's dreams. The one that sounds way too good to be true. Although my personal reaction is, no Final Fantasy 17? The remakes and the sequels and the requels.
I think he's, yeah, done talking anyways. I think a show will happen, on February 7th. I'm surprised it's coming so soon and we haven't heard anything about it, actually. I think Final Fantasy IX Remake will happen. Which is, it's weird that they skipped 8, but, I think it will happen. It's just, I'm surprised, if it's gonna be this fall, that's gonna completely surprise me. With all these rumors, I think, like, if there's gonna be a show, I think they are gonna show 9 Remake. I think they are gonna show 7 Rebirth, and probably do 16 as well. 10 Part 3 is a possibility, but I wouldn't call it like a high likelihood or anything. The rest of it, they might show World of, it's like the same with World of Final Fantasy 2. And Stories from Yblis. I don't know.